DMCA. That is what I say. DMCA. They are fucking gay. Another rant time. This time, might have guessed, DMCA. Don't know what it stands for. Don't really care. Basically, that's like the whole copyright system that a lot of platforms use, but most notably YouTube has been using it very poorly, like pretty bad. Bunch of people have made probably videos on this or discussed it, which makes sense. It affects a lot of people, especially any YouTubers that might do like covers or something. It can affect them a lot. Or sometimes people will sing anecdotally, and that might even get them. You never know. I remember back in the day, one of my videos, I think they're still on this channel, I don't remember. I think one of my videos was like an injustice video, and it got DMCA'd by Warner Music because the game audio had the game music. It's not like I was uploading the music, clean. I was playing the game, and the game has music for ambience and everything like that. And I got DMCA'd for it. I'm just like, well, shit. I wasn't making money off videos, and I still don't make any money off videos. For YouTube's monetization program, back in the day, you could just apply for monetization and you get it based on your viewership or whatever. Now, because that would cost them way too much money if everybody did that, they have it where you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and I think 4,000 hours of watch time, which is kind of crazy. I mean, especially if your channel's starting out, that's a really hard mark to get to. Now, a lot of people started YouTube way back in the day with no goals of money making. They were just trying to make fun videos for people to watch, which is a good endeavor, But nowadays, that's less and less the case, and now it's more people want to get in that money sector. And so what they might do early on is they might spend a little bit of money and either make their videos as ads, or they'll do the bot trick where they have a bunch of bots subscribe to them, to where like once a week they'll add like a couple hundred, or maybe like a couple hundred each week, until they get to like 1,000 or like 2,000 or 3,000, until they get to like a couple thousand. And those bots have watch hours on them and everything like that. They apply for monetization, and then also, since their videos have they have more subscribers and they've been growing at this pace, and they have this these higher views, they might get recommended to people more, and because they'll get more recommended to people, that increases viewership and so on and so forth. But that's not always the case. A lot of people still start small and just hope to get more people. There's like online classes and videos on like how to improve your branding, how to increase viewership, stuff like that, which is nifty. But I feel that those systems don't really work well in terms of catering towards the individual. So there's a wide amount of people that use this platform, that use YouTube. And so there's going to have a wide variance of taste. I mean, we already talked about mukbangs, and there's people that love those. There's people that love ASMR. There's obviously people that love gaming content, but even within the gaming content genre, there's a bunch of different variances. Whether you like ensemble stuff or individual play, what type of games do you want to see? How long do you want the content to be? Do you want it to be a YouTube streamer or just YouTube videos, or they post the VODs, whatever? Within that sphere, there's a lot. And then there's the unboxing channels, and even in the unboxing channels, you have the toy unboxers, you have the tech unboxers, you have the mystery unboxers, which those are weird. They like buy random lots off of like these wholesale sites. That usually are a bunch of returns. So like, whenever you return something on Amazon, usually they don't sell it. Again, sometimes they do, depending on the condition. Like if it's still like plastic wrapped or whatever, and like say you bought something, but then you look at the pack and you realize, oh, that's the wrong dimension, or that's like, or oh, this didn't have the thing I thought it did, and then you return it, and it's still like plastic sealed. Amazon will probably resell that. But if it's been like fucking like, then then they probably won't resell it. And so those end up on, or if it's like you've had the product for so long and like you can't get a refund but you still want to return it. I don't know but how that works exactly, but then those end up in lots of a bunch of junk, usually for like either reselling stores or for people who just want to buy a bunch of random shit. There's a couple of websites out there. I don't know the names of all of them, obviously, but anytime, say you want to get a bunch of used video games, because video games are fun to have and stuff, yeah, chances are a majority of those lots that you're going to be getting are either poorly received games or sports games. Because for some reason, sports games manufacturers always make way too many sports games. They always think they're going to sell way more than they do. And so they just have this huge amount and once a new sports game comes out, the old one, nobody gives a shit. They plummet in price. I remember seeing when I went to my used game store, I wanted to pick up a Madden because I was bored and I wanted to play Madden. One, I hadn't realized how many features have been stripped of Madden. Like the last Madden I played was Madden 13. And that didn't have too many features. Madden 12. Yeah, no, it was Madden 12. Because Madden 13 is where they changed the whole UI. So Madden 12 was the last one I played. And Madden 12 didn't have a bunch of features, but it had a decent amount. My favorite being like create a team. And so you could like play with your own custom team. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I went to the game store. I saw Madden 21, it's still like $60 or whatever. And then I saw Madden 20. And it was like $15. I'm like, shit. And then Madden 19 was like $5. And then Madden 18 was like $1. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get Madden 18. They're all basically the same game. So I got Madden 18, Tom Brady's still on the Patriots, like that whole shit. And they stripped a lot of features out of Madden. Creative team's gone. There's like My Madden isn't a thing anymore. I'm not really sure about the story mode stuff. I don't play Long Shot. I didn't play Long Shot, or I haven't yet. I can't even get all the trophies in that game because some of the trophies require you to play online. And I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I can't play it online. Some might ask, why don't you have PlayStation Plus? And it's because I don't care. I don't care to. It's like a weird kind of feedback loop situation to where I don't play online games because I don't have PlayStation Plus. But I don't have PlayStation Plus because I don't play online games. It's weird. If I have PlayStation Plus, yeah, I play online multiplayer more. But the thing is, the games that I have don't have a focus on online multiplayer. Because I bought games where that wasn't a big factor because I mainly play by myself because I don't have PlayStation Plus. Right? I did the trial for a short duration and that was fine. But like I have GTA 5. I would love to have PlayStation Plus, that way I can play online, and use my own custom character because I don't want to play as the normal characters. I want to play as my custom character in a private lobby with just myself so I can run around, do whatever the fuck I want, like I used to in Saints Row. That's like one of my biggest things is I prefer Saints Row over GTA, and the fact that Saints Row has a lot more customization to it for free. Like, if I get Saints Row, I can just have custom characters, boom, out the gate, no problem. I can change my wardrobe, all this shit. GTA is just like, no, we have this enriching story mode, with these characters and their lives and their background. Just like, I don't give a shit. I do not care. That's not why you buy GTA. You don't buy GTA for the rich story. You buy GTA or these open world chaos style games where you just run around, driving, blowing shit up, doing weird, fun things. And that's why I liked Saints Row more than GTA. Even though I had a smaller player base, that didn't really bother me because I didn't play online. But I preferred Saints Row because Saints Row, I could make my character like the Silver Surfer. Like literally bald, muscular, and silver. Like that was just a skin tone you could choose. And I could change it at any time. I wasn't locked in. I would just go to the surgeon, pay an absorbent amount of money, not physical money, in-game currency, which was pretty easy to get through the challenges and stuff, and through certain power-ups to where you can just run around, beat the shit out of people, and money falls out. But, and then you can fight the cops, pick up money from them and stuff, and you get to a point where you've leveled up so much and you have all these perks to where you're essentially immortal. You can still die, but it's very difficult for you to die. But that's why I like Saints Row, because it was just fun. You just mess around a bunch in Saints Row. It's great. You could change your voice, you could change, your mannerisms, you could change your look, you could change so much. Then also the weapons. The weapons were really cool. You had your standard guns here and there, but then you also had shit like the Penetrator, which was a dildo bat, which was hilarious. You had targeting missiles, so you could just like hide behind something, open up the targeting missile laptop or whatever, and just have a guided missile just hit somebody. It was hilarious. Then you had all the car modifications that you could do. Like you could have like the Roman spikes that would pop out of the wheels. Kneecappers, I think, are what they're called. And it's just like, yep, they're really cool looking and they're dangerous as shit. It's just funny. And then you could have nitrous. Eventually, like, you could have an upgrade to where you never have to put nitrous on a car again, so you can save a little bit of money each time you do that. And it's just like a personal thing to where every car you get into, regardless if it's a personal vehicle or not, it has nitrous. Like that's an upgrade that you eventually get, which is awesome. It means you can steal anything, zoom off, get it to Rim Jobs, which is the car shop. Get it to Rim Jobs and then just mod the hell out of it. There were some cars that I would always try to get because they were like the sports cars and they were like fast as shit. Like they were just like zoom. Like they would just go, right? Like that's what I loved about Saints Row is you could find those cars relatively easily. They were not too uncommon. You just find them randomly parked on a street corner. And then just like, sweet. And yeah, you power off in one of those. And you get to the shop and you make it even faster and harder to play with because like you bump up the speed, you bump up everything you possibly can, and you reinforce the shit out of that thing so it can last longer when you crash into stuff, because you will crash into stuff because you're going so goddamn fast that sometimes, it's unavoidable to dodge shit. Right? And, so it's just like, bleh. Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun game. Saints Row 4 wasn't that good. Well, the problem with Saints Row 4 was it was meant to be DLC for Saints Row the 3rd. But due to studio pressure or whatever, they're just like, don't do that. Expand upon it a little bit, and then they'll just make it a full game. And that was a problem because the story was kind of hit and miss. A lot of the gameplay felt very repetitive to what Saints Row the 3rd was. Not to mention, like, the way the game functions with it being a simulation kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed. But also, like, it had the problem of, I have these superpowers, but they don't work correctly, and then water functions really weirdly. Like, sometimes water's a hard surface, sometimes it's not, because there's like a power-up you can use to where you can run on water. But you also have like a mild flying ability, or more like gliding is what it is. And so like you're gliding into water, and then you're hitting the button so that when you land, you run. But then there's that slight delay and that slight hiccup to where you dunk in the water, pop up, and then you run. And it's not a smooth transition. and it's kind of annoying. And there's multiple times where stuff like that happens, where things don't switch over correctly or whatever, and you can tell that this was not a full game, and it stinks. And then that game has DLC to it. So an original DLC that got expanded into a game gets DLC that has almost nothing to do with the original game. Very confusing. Gat Out of Hell is the DLC. And Gat Out of Hell, I have yet to play it. It looks interesting. But, yeah. Yes, I think Saints Row was a pretty fun game. There's a lot of games that were just like, yeah. So, I think I started this with DMCA, and I don't know how we got to Saints Row. And there's somewhere along those lines where it figures out. I think we're like 16 in, so I think we'll cut it from there.